wild greens. Choconosle, a sour tuna fruit. This is homemade. Everything she does is homemade. Markets are mercados. They're based on a pre-Hispanic market ideal that we saw in Tlatelolco. When the conquistadores first came to Spain, they marveled at this huge marketplace that would have 30 to 40,000 people on a single day trading. When you go to the tianguises, which is the Nahuatl word for market, we still have neighborhoods where there are special outdoor markets one day a week. There you can buy all your fresh fruits, vegetables, there are meats, and there are women who come from the outlying agricultural areas of Mexico City to sell you their freshly nixtamalized corn masa so you can make your own tortillas, or they'll bring you homemade tortillas. You can get squash blossom flowers, huge bunches of flowers for $1. You can get huitlacoche, the corn smut, the food of the gods. You can have quelites, the wild greens of Mexico. Right now there are about 300 to 400 known edible wild greens that you can still find in the marketplaces. Fresh shucked fava beans.
This phenomenon of seeing La Merced with everything from everywhere is not new. It's an old tradition. It's a pre-Hispanic tradition. That's what made the big cities, and that's what dictated the power, was how many things can you get, you know? So yeah, come to Mexico City, you can get everything from everywhere at all times, right? That's what made Mexico City what it's today.
Then there's the melding of the cultures. I've been mentioning some of the foods that have been very famous in pre-Hispanic times, but when you come now, you'll find foods that have a definite European roots. We have wonderful olive oils, not just from Baja California, but also from Xochimilco area. There's just so much that you can find, and that's only in the tianguises. There are the mercados, the market system that the government began to improve in the 1930s and 40s, doing away with the outdoor markets and placing the vendors in covered marketplaces, some of which are huge. The best known is La Merced. My favorite is the Jamaica market, which is also the flower market, and of course Xochimilco, where at times you can hear the vendors speaking in Nahuatl, the ancient tongue of pre-Hispanic Mexico. We're in Xochimilco at the only stall that still sells chile atole. A chile atole is a masa thickened, corn masa thickened beverage. This beverage can be had at any time of the day as an early morning breakfast, and it's strongly rooted in the pre-Hispanic traditions of the atoles. And I'm going to ask the señora to please give us her recipe, because her recipe is always so delicious and so bright green. Señora, ¿nos da la receta ahora?
Es con epazote, masa.
Epazote, corn masa, small kerneled corn,
Su masita, su elote, su sal.
salt, poblano, poblano, and she has this gorgeous wild epazote over here. Look at how big it is. You don't see such huge epazote. And mire. Just look at this go in. It is gorgeous. Tantito de limón. Divino, delicioso. Señora, es una estrella. En mi libro siempre cedo. Muchas gracias. An atole is a corn masa-based drink. The corn masa thickens what is just water, corn masa, and then you put a flavoring in it. But nowadays, you'll find atoles that are made with strawberry, chocolate, different fruit flavors, but they're absolutely mouth-puckeringly sweet. This harks back to the time when there was no sugar in Mexico, pre-Hispanic. Before the Spaniards came, there was no refined sugar. So the atoles were savory atoles. And this is one of the best of the chile atoles that there is. Dos de frijol y dos de quelites. This lady has what I call finger tamales. They're very tiny. I love the wrapping because it's like this. Then you just pull up on it, you open it up, and hers are vegetarian. They are bean and wild greens. This is a bean tamale, and then she has quelites, the wild greens. This is the wonderful corn from Xochimilco, ¿verdad? Se crece acá en Xochimilco, el maíz. And you can see this is the beautiful purple corn that you would make blue corn tortillas from. They're absolutely. Oh, mira que negro. Look at the difference in the color variations from very light blue, a little darker, and this is almost black. Uno, por favor, con todo. Now I've just asked for an ear of corn on a stick. That's better than a lollipop. And she's going to put everything on it, the todo. So we do a little slathering of mayonnaise, because everything is better with a little mayo. And you see how well she does that. It's just very thin. And then little cheese. And that's it. Ay, señora, muchas gracias. Hola, ¿tiene lengüitas? No. These are the cactus. If you can see, this woman is cleaning the cactus with just a knife. She's taking off the spines and taking off most of the skin. I've just asked her for a specific size. I call them lengüitas, which means tongue size. ¿Me da un paquetito de a 10 pesos? Gracias. Ah, mira, ya los tiene listos. So here she has them all ready, and I love cactus paddles, and they don't need to be refrigerated. These you can just do a little olive oil, salt, and pepper and put them on a grill. They're absolutely fabulous. And the actual nutritional value of cactus is enormous. They found out that cactus can lower cholesterol levels and helps in the control of diabetes. We've come up to this stand because I saw a fruit that I really enjoy, but it's not a sweet fruit. They're called choconostle, Xoconostle, and you might be hearing a great deal more about choconostle in the near future. It's a sour tuna fruit. Most cactus fruits are sweet, and the seeds are dispersed throughout the flesh. In choconostle, when you cut it open, the flesh is rosy, and all of the black seeds are centered in the fruit. What's wonderful about choconostle is that you can dry it, and then you can salt it, have it chilied, or have it sweet. But one of the best ways to utilize it is just cut it in half, grill it, and take out the seeds, skin it after it's been grilled, and use the flesh to flavor a salsa. And usually it's chile de árbol, tomatillos, and you would season it with the choconostle, and they're absolutely fabulous as a sauce. ¿A cuánto están los choconostle?
A 15 el montón.
Pues denme un montón, pero ¿me puede cortar uno en mitad? Sí. Ay, muchas gracias. Well, she's going to do it so that you can take bites out of the choconostle, but the fruit itself is sour and bitter. It also acts as a natural tenderizer. You would use this in a mole de olla, which is a beef stew as well. It has this beautiful rosiness to it, and in the center are the seeds. In a normal tuna fruit, which is sweet, the seeds would be dispersed throughout the flesh. Here they're not. But if you could, and I'm going to lick.
Ácido.
It's acidy, and it's wonderful to use as a meat tenderizer in a beef stew. So this is choconostle, a sour tuna fruit. And here, which we saw this morning, is huitlacoche, which is the corn fungus. It's also known as the Mexican truffle. I love looking at it from the bottom. And you can see where the corn kernels are exploding. And for thousands of years it's been known. One of the favorite uses for this is in a thickened sauce, which is just reducing it until it itself thickens up, and over filet mignon, over fish as well, which we had, and as a soup. So, but I don't think anyone would attempt to put cheese into this unless they did it as a garnish in a quesadilla. It's the earthiness of this that people want to taste. So this is the huitlacoche, the corn fungus that was known as a food of the gods. Me encantan sus habas frescas, se ven deliciosas. ¿Cuánto es esto? A 20 la medida. The vegetables in Xochimilco, the majority of them are from this area. Xochimilco has been known for thousands of years as the farming area for Mexico City. Most of these vegetables are grown in chinampas, which are the floating islands. Again, pre-Hispanic, pre-Aztec as well. And what I love best is that here you can get your peas shelled and your fresh fava beans shelled. So I'm going to get a small container, and you can see it's an old sardine can, but that's the measure that they use. And they're beautiful, and they've just been picked, as have the peas.